Hey YouTube, Tone M here. It's been a while since I put out any videos. I apologize for that for all my subscribers that have been waiting. Uh, some personal things here and there, getting life together. My youngest or oldest daughter just started school, so been busy. Um, Anyhow, back on track. I've had a couple of my viewers ask me if I have any videos or if I am willing to do any videos about uh, taking apart my pistols that I own and cleaning them or showing people how to clean their pistols. Uh, so that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go ahead and do that. The biggest one that I kept getting questions for was the 380 Cobra Denali. Now, this is the newer Cobra model. The original Cobra 380 or 32, I believe it also comes in a 25, I could be wrong, is the Enterprise. And basically, it's the all steel frame one. The Cobra Denali, which is what I have in my hand right here, is the polymer frame. They went from the all steel frame and went with I guess this is a steel slide. To me, it feels like some kind of uh, I don't know, some kind of cast metal. Um, Same for the barrel and everything. So I they say it's steel. I don't know. But the handle and everything else and the frame is polymer. Um, so what I'm going to go ahead and do is show everyone how to take this apart, basically just break it down, the basic breakdown. Okay, I don't go into the full, dismantling the innards and everything like that. Not that I don't know how. I personally just don't see the need in it unless I'm going to do some kind of modifications or um, repairs. Uh, if you take care of your pistols, any pistol, cheap or expensive, you shouldn't have to dismantle all the way down to the inner workings to do any repairs or anything because you took care of it. Um, Not saying that stuff doesn't happen. So, for all the ones who have had to do that, I salute you. Stuff happens. It's out of our hands sometimes. But basically, all I do for my pistols is I do the bare minimum breakdown. Basically, I just take them down to the necessities that I need to get into: the slide, the cleaning of the barrel, um, blowing out, rubbing out the magazine weld, stuff like that. Alright, so uh, without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and tilt the camera down and get you the inner workings um, on the table here. Quick note, or I should say quick disclaimer. Uh, I can't stress this enough. I clean my pistols and I take my pistols apart my way, the way I choose to do it. I'm not telling anyone how to do it, and I'm not telling you the way I'm doing it is the right way. Okay? There are other people that'll argue different techniques, different styles, different chemicals, different brands, different whatever. And that's great. Everybody has their own way to row a boat. Okay? And the bottom of the nutshell here, what it comes down to is you get your gun clean and it still works and still functions the way you want it to. So whether you choose to use my method or someone else's method is on you. I'm not a professional and I don't claim to be a professional. Again, this is what I do and how I do it. And it's worked for me and I haven't had any problems and my pistols all run just fine. Alright, so with that being said, let's go ahead and tilt that camera down and take this Cobra Denali apart, alright? you good. Right about there. Yeah, that's about right. Okay. So basically, what I do, or what anyone should do really, is make sure you're empty. You can see there's no magazine in there. Doesn't mean that there can't be a round in the chamber, so no finger on the trigger. Go ahead and pull the slide back. Check in there. You don't see nothing in there. Good, you're good. Safety's off, all that good stuff. Some you can't slide back with the safety on, some you can. It's all depending on what brand of gun you got. But pretty much all semi-automatic slides function about the same. Minor differences here and there. Little buttons, switches, tabs, levers, things like that to take it apart. For the Cobra Denali, you want to go for the back here. You can sit there and you can see this silver circle here. That is your slide stopper, slide bracket, slide lock. Basically, this right here is what keeps this slide from coming off the frame and popping you in the face. Alright, so also if you notice that circle inside that hole, that's there as a cock indicator, basically meaning once you've cocked the pistol, racked the slide back, chambered a round in, it will let you know. See, right now it's not showing you anything because the slide wasn't racked all the way back, but I'll go ahead and do that just to show everyone. So there you go, the slide's back. Now the older Cobras, the Enterprises, the all steel frames, they have a little red rubber tip or whatnot that's on the actual indicator. This Denali and the Denali in general models don't have that. It's just a little silver pin that kind of sticks out. I don't know how good you can see that, but it's about right there. It's right in the center, and that's basically letting you know, hey, this pistol's been cycled and chambered. There could or could not be a round in, but you know, just kind of give you a heads up. Don't just go pull the trigger. You know, you want to always check any pistol, whether it has a cock indicator or not, that you know, if there's a chamber round or not. So always, you know, be safe. So basically, you know, as we said, take a look, see if there's nothing there. I went ahead and released the trigger. Alright, the other function of this silver slide stop is to dismantle this pistol. The Cobra Denali is actually really easy to take apart, and if I'm not mistaken, I believe the Enterprise model, the all steel model, the original 380, is the same exact way. I actually personally haven't had the chance to mess with or play with the all steel version. I went ahead when these came out and bought one of these. I got it for 99 bucks on Grab a Gun. They're about 135, 140 right now. So I got lucky. I got it for under 100 bucks. So anyway, go ahead and you want to push that button right there. You want to push it down. And as you do so, you want to go ahead and slide the slide back. It's going to be kind of hard to see all that with the camera angle and everything. But basically, you push it back, and there's going to be a part where it'll come up. Alright. If you have big fingers, it gets kind of hard. It helps if the button doesn't get back. There you go. and then it just kind of comes apart like that. So basically, you push this in. Make sure the trigger has been released before you take the slide off, because with the cock indicator operating, stating that there's a round in or supposed round in, it makes it hard to push that button in. Anyway, so basically, make it unchambered. Don't rack the slide, and push the silver button in. That one right there. Then when you go to slide it, like you're actually going to rack the slide, push the button in, and it'll pop right up. There's little divots on the slide where it'll pop out. You'll see the grooves right on the slide itself. Groove right here and a groove right there. Once they get past that little spot where on the frame that those notches are able to come off, the whole slide will come right out. Now once you got it down to this is pretty much what you want to break it down to. You take your slide spring out, recoil spring, go ahead and take your slide lock, take your extractor pin and firing pin. The reason I say extractor pin and firing pin is because this particular type of pistol uses the firing pin also as an extractor. Now that's your firing pin and extractor. If you go to the back there, that's the part that you actually see at the back of the pistol through that small opening in this. Basically you rack the slide, chamber around, that's the part that pops out and shows you, hey, there's a potential round in the chamber ready to fire. So either you're going to use me or you're going to check me and make sure I don't go off accidentally. Alright, so that's what that is. And when the weapon is not cycled or not ready to fire or in use, this sits further down, and that's where you get that little pocket. You don't see anything, just a nice little dark hole. Alright, so basically that's about it, really. That's as far as you want to go. I've cleaned my pistol prior to the video because I came back shooting, and so I'm not going to go real heavy on the cleaning. I'm just going to do a quick tutorial on what I go with and how I do it. I have a little, what you call a work towel down. You can see it in the background here, this orange, pink, whatever. You always want to kind of put one down unless you have your own style, or some people actually have the mats that have the picture of the pistol or some kind of gun being taken apart. Those are also amazing to have if you can get your hands on one of those. And basically what you do is you just kind of match the parts with the pictures, and it kind of gives you an idea where everything goes, and plus it helps you, you know, keep track of everything and put everything back. So like I said, if you can get one of those, that, you know, more power to you. Those are great to have. Alright, so enough of that. Let's go ahead and get to cleaning. What I go ahead and do is I get my Remington Oil. That's all I use, Remington Oil. And I want to go ahead and just take these little pieces right here, the slide lock, the extractor spring, the firing slash extractor pin, and the recoil spring, and I just go ahead and just kind of give it a once over with the Remington Oil. Just kind of soak it up, move them around a little bit, you know, make sure it penetrates, gets up into that gunk area. While those are sitting, I just kind of move those aside. I'll go ahead and I'll do the same for the slide itself, especially right in this area where the firing pin and the firing pin spring, you know, move in and everything like that, especially where the slide actually touches and rubs against the frame. Just want to kind of give it a good spray down, make sure it gets up in there. And you can go ahead and kind of like spray up into the barrel opening area. And you just kind of let it sit there. Then you go ahead and take your frame, and like I said, you can take these off if you want. It's up to you. It's your preference. I leave them on because really, unless you're dropping it in mud or something, it's not going to get that dirty. And really, unless you're switching the grips out or repairing something, you really don't need to take them apart or take them off. One quick thing though, a lot of people don't know or have done accidentally. I know when I started getting into to pistols and everything that I didn't know this until it happened to me. Is you see this piece right here sticking up right there? Yeah, that is your trigger assembly, more or less. Your trigger's right here, but that tension you get when you slide, or I'm sorry, when you go ahead and cycle the weapon, get it ready to fire, that tension, that's caused by this these pieces right here. This little L-shaped bracket here, this part that sticks up, there's a spring inside also. This literally, it's got a hollow bottom and it sits over a spring. Well, this is held by this bracket, which is literally held to the frame itself by these little silver pins here. They just kind of stick on there. Basically, why I'm bringing this up is while you have your pistol apart like this, or any semi-automatic slide operated pistol down to its frame, if you pull that trigger by accident, this piece and these pieces in general will literally blow out of the gun. Like the tension will be released from the trigger, because right now the trigger is tensed. It's ready. It's literally ready to fire. Okay, this is what it looks like when the pistol's ready to fire. Once you rack that slide, that's the setup it looks like. When you pull the trigger, everything kind of moves down. This piece will go up, this will go down, and that's basically that releases the tension of this for the extractor pin, or firing pin, extractor pin. Basically, once you push that down, that spring's going to let the pin go and fire the pistol. Alright, so when you take the pistol apart, or any kind of semi-automatic pistol apart, it does cock your gun and put it in the ready to fire. So just, word to the wise, don't pull the trigger. Pieces literally go shooting everywhere. There's literally 3 pieces. This sliding arm bracket that's shaped like an L, this silver piece right here that actually goes down, it's got 2 little bars that come out that actually lock to the plate itself, the sliding L plate, and a spring on the bottom that keeps that tension. And it's not a pain to put together, it's a pain to look for the parts. So I've had it happen to me, and I know lots of people have it happen to them. So once you've done it at least once or twice in your life, you remember never to do it again. But so just wanted to throw that out there. So go ahead and once you have your frame in your hand, go ahead and take some of that Remington oil, shoot it down the barrel, make sure it breaks up all the gunk and everything. You can shoot it down the magazine well. I mean, I just do a light little burst. I can actually get to the inner trigger area with this. I just kind of give it a little blast. Let's kind of get the gunk out. You just tap it, let it sit there. Once that's all done, basically your parts that you've been more or less marinating in the Remington oil are ready to wipe off. The best thing about having this drop cloth is, it also works as a little utility rag. You just go ahead and wipe your pieces down. It's always good to have another work rag on hand. I misplaced mine, so I can't actually get it. So, or I don't have one on me right now offhand. Maybe my lovely assistant will grab me a work rag while she's sitting here making faces at me. That's my wife. Um, so go ahead and give it a good rub down. I can't really see it on the camera. Let me go ahead and try and move that down. Kind of pick that up a little bit. So basically what I did was I took the firing pin, the slide lock, and the recoil spring, and I just kind of give it a quick rub down after it's been sitting, and more or less just letting the Remington oil break it all up. So let's go ahead and slide this back over here. Oh, thank you, honey. My wife just went ahead and gave me a utility rag. Something that rule number 1 states, when you're cleaning any pistol or anything, or working on anything, always should have on hand. 1, because your hands get greasy and dirty. Alright. Again, just kind of go ahead, take your little rag and rub down the slide. And you're not really going to get all up in there with the rag. This is just to, like I said, get the residue off, get the oil off and everything. And believe me, just doing this gets a lot of the gunk and stuff off of your pistol that you normally don't really think about. You know, after you fire your pistol for the first time, or hell, even taking it out of the box, they're dirty. Or they come caked in oil. I know a lot of rifles, some pistols, most pistols come in boxes, so I can't really give that to the pistols. They actually come, I mean, they'll come dirty, like dusty, stuff like that. They'll have metal shavings and stuff from, you know, literally coming right off the machine and everything and put together. But I can't really say they come real oily. That mostly comes to the shotguns and your rifle, stuff like that. They just literally put them in a bag, cake them in oil, and stuff them in a box and ship them, or you pick them up. So that's pretty much about it as far as the basic spray and rub down. Now you get yourself your swab here. I'm using a hops cleaning kit that I got for about $8 at Walmart. It comes with different size swabs, all the way from a 22 to a 12 gauge. Does your 9s. It does pretty much most of your pistols, calibers, stuff like that. 45, 38, 380, 9, all that good stuff. Comes with gun bore oil and some lubricating oil, which the lubricating oil we'll put on last. The Remington oil is a good breakdown. It also lubricates, so if you don't have hops and you just have your Remington oil, you're pretty much set. I mean, that's about as basic as a cleaning as it can get, and you can still use it as lubricant as well. So this or this suffices for both. This is your Boar cleaning kit. Your Boar is your barrel, the inside, and what it does is it's like a degreaser, if you will. It goes in and it literally breaks up all the soot and gunpowder residue that didn't get burnt up when you fire. So plus it also gets the gases and stuff that cake on, stuff like that. It eats it all out. Now this Remington oil also pretty much does the same thing. Once you've sprayed it down with this, let it sit, and then take it down and go ahead and rub it down with a copper wire brush. It does about the same thing as you would with this. So again, just different preferences on what you want to use and how you want to use them, stuff like that. Like I said, I've already cleaned the pistol before using hops and Remington, so I'm not going to go that that hard into detail. So basically, get your 380 swab, get your cleaning rod ready. I had it set up to do my 12 gauge. That'll be coming on another video. Basically what I'm doing is these videos are going to go down my my list of pistols and shotguns, and that's basically what these videos are going to be. This video's the 380 breakdown and clean up, put together, and the next couple videos are going to be on the other different pistols and stuff I have. Same concept, breaking it down and cleaning it. So go ahead and get your swab ready, take your frame, and just work it through the barrel. Twist it, push it through, twisting it. Now you can twist clockwise, counterclockwise. You don't have to twist if you don't want to. Basically, I look at it in the terms of it's like a giant Q-tip. When you put a Q-tip in your ear, you put it in there, you spin it around, you move it around, you want to get the earwax out. Same concept with cleaning a bore, barrel. You take the swab, you put it in, and you just work it back and forth. But me, I constantly keep spinning it. I just feel that it gets it cleaner, and give it a quick blow down. You can pretty much look down the barrel. Let's see if I can get that to show up on the video. There you go. I don't know if that'll work, but you can pretty much see. I mean, that's pretty goddamn clean, you know? And that's what you want to see. You want to still see the rifling. So if you go through there with a wire brush, and I mean, you know, you start scrubbing away like there's no tomorrow, and you look down your barrel and you don't see any more rifling, you probably brushed too hard. So I don't recommend anybody to do that. Alright, same concept. Now see, you don't have to really do that, but I go ahead and I take that same swab and I just kind of work it through the slide area. Basically the firing pin and firing pin spring area, because it gets gunky in there sometimes, you know. And that's about it. That's really it. I mean, you've already went ahead and cleaned out your working parts, your springs and everything. Now you don't have to brush these, alright, because again, it's a spring. Unless you're freaking dropping it in cement or mud and letting it literally just sit there and dry up and cake on, these pretty much stay pretty clean. You just basically give them a quick blast, let them sit, let the stuff absorb and disintegrate what it needs to do, and that's about it. Now it's just a matter of putting it back together. So what I do is I go ahead and I take my recoil spring, I stick it on the end of the barrel. There you go. That's one major problem done. Go ahead, take your firing pin. Now there are two different shapes to this. I know people are going to look at me and go, well, Tone M, it's pretty obvious. Be surprised, there are people out there who put this in backwards. Alright, you see two pins on each side, you go, oh, I guess it doesn't matter. It does. It does matter how you put it in. This is your firing pin and extractor side. If you don't have it in this direction when you put it in the slide, this piece will not line up with that piece, so therefore your pistol will never fire, because it's not able to lock into the ready position to make that bullet fire. So therefore it won't cycle. So basically this is wrong. This is bad. Skinny side, always to the end of the pistol. Fat side, good. Okay? Real simple. Fat side, good. See, it even looks, I mean, it's pretty simple. It even matches. I mean, it's almost like it's made to fit there. Oh, wait, it is. So, just remember that. Fat side goes into the slide. Skinny side goes out to the back. That part needs to stick here. Alright? That's where this piece goes. That's the indicator. It shows you that there's a round in the chamber. Put the spring on the skinny end. Why? Because, like I said, it fits. Doesn't fit. So there I go again. If there's anybody out there that didn't get the concept of what I'm getting at, if you go to put the spring on and it's not fitting on there like that, you've put it on backwards. So make sure you put the spring goes over the indicator pin. Go ahead and slide that in. Beautiful. Take that silver slide piece, and now it's hard to put this in backwards. Alright, you got that part that you saw when you opened the pistol, and you got this part that's inside the pistol. The spring and the indicator pin literally sit inside that hole, that giant hole. If you go to put it in there and you see that the spring's not sitting inside and it's just pushing against it, turn it around. You got it in backwards. Alright, so go ahead and put that in. It should look just like that. Alright, take your slide, take your frame. You want to work the barrel in first, making sure the spring doesn't jam up or pinch or anything. You want to slide all the way until the barrel comes through the slide. You push your silver slide lock in while doing so, and that keeps your slide from shooting out in any direction, because right now what it just did is those grooves that I showed you in the slide just went to the notches that are on the frame and it slid together, and there you go, it's together. What you want to do now is pull the slide back. You should hear that. You should feel that resistance. You should feel the slide literally going forward like it's ready to chamber, and then pull the trigger. That's how it should sound. Lock, cock, ready to rock. And there you go. It's taken apart. You put it together. Okay? Now, once you have it like that, you should be done, right? Wrong. You want to go ahead and you oil it, so that way the next time you go to fire it, or it's been sitting in your box or chest or glove box or console, pocket, dresser, sock drawer, tackle box, wherever the hell you put your guns, holster, hopefully away from children, you want it ready to fire, right? Everybody does, especially if you use this as a protective carry arm, stuff like that. I mean, you know, you just want it ready. So go ahead, you want to go ahead and pull that. Use your finger. This doesn't have a lock slide, so I just use my finger. And what I do is I go ahead and I just take a little blast of my Remington. You can also use your hops, and just literally I just put it right there where the round ejects. I kind of get it in between where the ejecting goes, the slide meets, and the top of the barrel all get together. And after I do that, I just go ahead and I just work it. Rack it, and you just keep sliding it. If you want to go ahead while you're doing that, when you have the slide all the way back, just kind of hit some on the barrel itself right here at the tip. You can do that. There you go. Just work it. You want to make it feel smooth. You don't want to feel resistance. If you feel resistance, then you got some gunk in there somewhere. You just want to make it, you know, feel smooth. You want it to work smoothly, not too smooth where you're not feeling any resistance. You want to feel slight resistance, not a lot of resistance. You want to be able to grab this pistol in a hurry, pinch the slide, pull it back with ease, and get it ready to chamber and fire. You see that? That's ready. Okay, you don't want to sit there and fiddle with it and try to, you know what I mean? It's life or death and all that good stuff. So you just want to make sure it's nice and oiled, ready to go, and it helps with the barrel corroding. I know I had a car that I used to keep 22 in, and the car I had a slight leak, so that means moisture got into it, into the car, into the inside, whatnot. Well, it changed the humidity inside the vehicle. Basically what it came down to is one day I opened my glove box, grabbed my 22, you know, I was going to the range with my friends and figured out, what the hell, you know, 22's cheap, go ahead and shoot it. My barrel corroded, and So that was my fault. One, because I didn't know my car had a leak in it until I found that out, and two, because I didn't do that little trick with keeping the barrel slightly oiled like that. Not a whole lot. You don't want it dripping. If you do have any dripping, go ahead and rub it down like I did with the rag. Just you want it nice and pretty. You don't want it nice and sloppy and dripping wet. But in the inside, you don't want to dry that out. You want to make it nice and just damp. You don't want it dripping. You just want it nice and ready. And that'll keep your pistol ready and free of corrosion. So there you go, guys. That is the Cobra Denali 380, the cleaning and breakdown and putting back together of it. Hope you enjoyed it, and if you have any questions, feel free to post comments. If you have any other techniques or methods that might be easier or might work better, hey, I'm always up to doing something easier. So, again, drop it in the comments. You saw anything that I did that you liked or didn't like, feel free to put it in the comments. I'm willing to learn. If I made a mistake, call me out. Like I said in the beginning, I don't claim to be a professional. This is how I do it. So if you choose to do it, your results may vary. Just like if I were to do something you've recommended, my results may vary. So good luck to you. Good shooting. Thanks for watching, and God bless. See you on the next video.